Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for all these people that are here, these athletes. They're very precious to me. I know precious to you, and they've done a lot of hard work, and we just pray that everything we go over today will be beneficial. Give me the wisdom to talk about and explain the things that need to be explained and talked about. And I just thank you for each one of us here in your name, amen. All right, so first of all, I want everybody to think about why they're here, how lucky we are to be here and ready to race. Because that is a huge accomplishment in itself. Okay? To go through the training of an Ironman and be able to toe the line, right, fit, healthy, hopefully no major injuries. We might have a little pain here and there. Which is typical going through taper. We might talk about that. You might feel these little things creep up. You're like, what's wrong with my knee? What's wrong with my ankle? But for the most part, we're all healthy and we feel good, right? So that's a blessing.
I'm only here because he's here.
So, pat yourself on the back and good job. Well done. Okay. We have trained hard, sacrificed much to be on the starting line. Considered a privilege to be at this point. We're going to start off by talking about nutrition race week, which starts kind of now and tomorrow. Okay, race week I look at as Monday to race week. Start off with nutrition because that is hugely important. Because what we do this next week and what we eat, what we put in our bodies, will have a direct effect on what happens on race day. Okay, it's a long day out there. Most of you have already experienced things in training when your gut kind of is not so happy and so forth. So what we do this next week, the food we eat, will affect us on race day. So we want to be really careful. What I would suggest is stay away from eating out as much as possible. Okay? When you eat out at a restaurant, you can't control what they're putting in your food. Okay? So and typically in the Great American diet, there's going to be typically a lot of excess fat, oils, and when you're talking oils, you're talking the really inflammatory oils. Okay? They don't cook with coconut oil and the good stuff. They cook with canola and corn, and so it's going to set your body up to be in more of an inflammation state, so not good heading into the race. If you have to eat out at somewhere that you know is a little more on the healthy side of things, somewhere you've eaten at before, okay, something that's predictable. Don't go to a new restaurant downtown Chattanooga, part of the neighborhood that's maybe not restaurant. Don't do that. Watch the carbs, okay? Our taper has gone down, so our training has gone down in taper. Therefore, the calories that we're requiring is a lot less. So you're going to have to taper your food, especially this next week, because our training is really tapering off, right? We're just primarily focused on resting. So focus on, as far as nutrition goes, watch your carbs, okay? And you're going to need to eat carbs, obviously, to fuel for race day, but you're not going to need the carbs you're going to need for a 6-hour ride, okay? So focus on healthy fats, okay? And protein. Make sure you get enough protein so your body can rebuild come race day. A good supplement also, if you're not taking it already, is a good branched chain amino acid. Okay, those are the building blocks of protein. So that just makes sure you're getting a good complete protein. 3 days out from the race, start tapering off your fruits and veggies. Okay, fruits and veggies, don't get me wrong, are awesome for you, but they do contain a lot of fiber. Okay, so as we get close to race, fiber's not your friend. Okay, trust me, you want to stay away from the fiber on race day and a couple days leading up. So kind of Wednesday, start tapering down. Definitely by Friday, just you want to concentrate more on the complex carbs. Um, as you get into like Saturday, salt your food a little extra. That can help. Obviously, hydration is important. The day before the race, Saturday, start drinking not just water, but switch to a product like Noon. It has some electrolytes in it, or even Gatorade, maybe watered down Gatorade, because you're not going to need quite that much sugar, but the extra potassium and sodium, keep those levels topped off. Okay. Let's see. There's a saying I like. It's the meals day before the race. So we're talking mainly like Saturday. Breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a poor person. Make sense? So, particularly on Saturday, you want your bigger meal to be breakfast, a little bit smaller lunch, but lunch still a pretty good sized meal. But then that evening meal, you want to eat it early. So say like, I always like 5 o'clock. I don't like to eat much later than that, the night before the race. And keep it pretty simple and smaller, okay? Gives your digestive tract a chance to settle down and rest, okay? A couple of reasons. Keeps it a little more empty, and less, you're gonna be nervous anyways. So, come race morning, you wanna not be so nervous. Danielle, right? You'll be nervous. Be nervous? No?
I was just out, but I want to have a heartburn.
Heartburn. Some points to talk about when we're talking about hydration and electrolytes. You can overhydrate, okay? You can drink too much water and you'll end up kind of flushing your electrolytes out, okay? So that's what I'm saying, add the electrolytes, add the salt on your food days leading up to the race. Years ago, I was running the Disney Marathon and went down to Florida. It was super hot, and the only thing I can think of was, I need to hydrate. I'm going to die on race day, because it was projected to be like 90, which it was. It was like 92. No, I think it was 94 degrees in January or something. They set a record high for the day. It was crazy. And I made the mistake of drinking tons of water in 2 days leading up to the marathon. This is just a marathon. So halfway through, well, actually about mile 18 to 20, my body just said, I just hit the wall, and basically it was, I started cramping. And it's really the only time I've ever cramped running. And my legs just literally all over just started. And that's what it was, that I had pretty much flushed out my electrolytes. And I didn't know anything back then anyway, so I didn't know they'd take salt. I don't even think they had salt on the course. It's just really the idea of taking on electrolytes for a marathon. At least for me, it was new. And it's also possible to overload on electrolytes. So if you take in too many electrolytes, your body will dump electrolytes, and it may dump too much. So you can kind of go overboard on either one of them. So you have to actually do quite a bit, but just do what's what you normally would do before, like your long rides and your training. Maybe just a little bit more than that. That's kind of a good measure. Let's see if I have in here cut the caffeine. I had that in there, but I've been hearing some stuff lately where they're saying that it really doesn't matter that much. The idea is you cut the caffeine a couple weeks leading up to the race, and so on race day the caffeine has a larger effect on it. So I don't know. They're I'm hearing conflicting stuff now with sports nutritionists saying if you're used to taking a lot of caffeine and you end up coming off of it, can actually kind of make you a little bit crazy because you want caffeine. So anyways, I always say maybe taper it down a little bit, but the necessity to go completely off of it, I don't know that that's really that necessary. So that's nutrition race week. Let's stop there and well, not stop there. Let's go forward a little bit to race day. And if anybody's got any questions so far, no. Let's skip to race day, and let's kind of go through what's going to happen
before that, what about the bag that we?
That's,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Well, yeah, let's do bike check-in, I guess. That's kind of before race time. So bike check-in, when you go down to register, they're going to give you bags. Okay, you're going to have 5 bags. Okay, you're going to have actually 6. Wait. Yeah, 5 bags. Sorry. You're going to have a bike bag, a run bag, and then you're going to have a morning clothes bag. Okay, so that morning clothes bag is a bag you can take to the swim start, which is really nice because you can put what I do is I put everything in it I'm going to need to go to the swim venue, okay, which is up the river 2.4 miles. Okay, so it's a ways away. So you put in this case, most likely your wetsuit, because it looks like it's probably going to be wetsuit legal, which is kind of cool. Should be a fast swim, easy swim. So what I do is the night before, because you don't have to check that bag in or anything, you're going to have it with you race morning. You put everything you're going to need in there. Your wetsuit, a gel, we'll cover that, some water to drink. I would put an extra set of goggles in there, aside from the goggles you plan to wear in the swim. There's nothing worse than going to put your goggles on and have that strap break. Okay, it's happened to friends of mine. It hasn't happened to me, thank goodness, but you're going to get that bag back, unlike your special needs bags that we're going to talk about in a second. So put anything extra in there you need. Okay, you're going to be given a swim cap at registration. So your swim cap goes in there, your goggles go in there, you need anti-fog, a little bit of soap maybe, a bottle of water, so you clean your goggles if they get messed up. Some wipies. Okay, it's dark down there at the swim start before the race, but there are a lot of woods and not many porta-johns, so just come prepared. Anything you're going to need to put your wetsuit on. Okay, plastic bag, if you do the little plastic bag trick. Glide, what do you call that stuff? Tri-slide to spray on, or silk if you use the Skin Strong stuff. But yeah, anything that you're going to need prior to getting in the water, you put in that bag, and then you just tie it up and you hand it off, and you're good to go. Okay, flip-flops, shoes, something like that. Any nutrition, banana or something like that to drink.
You hand that to them before you get on the bus?
No, before you get in the water. They'll have a spot up there at the swim start that you just run up there and here's my bag. It'll have your number on it and everything.
You take all that stuff out, put it on. Take what you're wearing, put it in the bag. Give the bag back to them.
It's just a way to transport all your stuff up there to the swim start. And then anything you're not going to need, you put back in that bag. Because you're going to be up there for a while sitting around waiting. Okay. So that's that extra bag you're going to get. Because some people are like, what's this morning clothes bag? What do I do with this?
So it's normally white, right?
Yeah, it's normally like clear, and it's usually like gray or white.
Yeah, like a gray white.
Yeah.
But it'll say morning clothes.
Yeah, it'll say morning
So
clothes.
if you're James Bond, your tux goes in that bag.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, right.
Great analogy.
That I understand.
That's it.
Now I get it.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh no, that's Mission Impossible. So then the other bag you're going to get, the first bag you want to get situated is your bike bag. Okay. I apologize, I have not read the rules yet for this year because it's changed in the years past on what you can actually put on your bike in transition. Last year they let you put your shoes, your helmet, which I think is, I don't know why they don't, I wish they would just have everybody put their helmet in their bag, because when you put it on the bike, it can get knocked off. So my advice would be, put it in your bag. They'll let you put it on the bike, but why? Okay? You put it on in the tent, you run out, it's on your head, get your bike and you go. Okay? If it's on your bike, somebody comes out there first, next to you, all they're concerned about is their bike. They're gonna knock your bike, they're gonna, if there's stuff on your bike, chances are it could get knocked off and be on the ground. So that's my advice. I think they do allow you to put your shoes on the bike if you are used to doing that. So you run out, you jump on your bike, and then you get in your shoes. That also depends on where your bike is in transition. If you end up close to the bike out, just leave your shoes, put your shoes on in the tent. Or what you can do, I know what Daniela does, is she'll carry your shoes because you can run a lot easier without the silly bike shoes on,
I
right?
do that, yeah.
You're not running on your
I just
clip.
take them and drop them right at the bike, get in
There
and
you go. Yeah, see.
It's so much easier.
Yeah. So there, you kind of have to think through, and a lot of this stuff is you just think through your own race. Okay. That's why when I made that post about visualization, you visualize yourself going through the race. Okay, I'm riding the bus up at the swim star. What should I have with me? I'm over there waiting, in line for the swim. Ooh, what happens if I have to go to the bathroom? Oh, wipes. That would be a good thing to have. You just think through this stuff, and if you have any questions, you text me, right? And I answer. So the stuff that's going to go in your bike bag is the stuff that you're going to need to put on to get on your bike. It's not you can show up race morning, like when transition opens, which I encourage everybody to get there when transition opens. Okay, I know it's early and I know you'll have time, but just get there when transition opens, because if anything goes wrong, you have plenty of time. Okay. The idea behind race morning is to keep the stress level down here. If something goes wrong, you show up and there's a flat on your bike, what happens to your stress level? Yeah, woo, way up here. Even if there's people running around fixing flats for you, you're stressed out. Okay. So just get there early, get your bike taken care of. Now, what you can do race morning? Yes.
Go back to the bag and jump from.
Well, I'm talking about the bag, but I'm
Okay.
talking about what you don't have to put in that bag, because you can
Gotcha,
put it on the.
yes.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Is
Okay.
you can put stuff on your bike race morning. So your bike computer, your nutrition bottles, anything in your bento box. If you're gonna stick like 10,000, what are those bars, power bars to your frame, like some people do, because they're really sticky. I've seen pictures of that where they got clumps of power bars, or like 20 gels lined up on the top tube. Whatever you're gonna put on your bike, you can put on your bike the morning of, when you air up your tires, you do all that stuff, right? So the stuff that goes in that bike bag is everything else. So if you're gonna swim in your wetsuit with maybe a swimsuit on, and then change in the tent and put a road kit on instead of a tri-kit, that's an option. I know Mitch, we talked about that. He's like, hey, I'm more comfortable riding in a road kit. Wear your jersey, you got more pockets, you got time to change, unless you're concerned about saving that, you might, through the whole course of the race, maybe save 5 minutes, not changing. If you're worried about the cutoff or something, then maybe, that might be something to think about. But anything you need to change from the swim, you need to put on to ride. Okay, chamois cream could go in there, suntan lotion. If you wear contacts, maybe an extra set of contacts go in that bag. Say you get this swim, you shouldn't actually contact anybody. I mean, it really is very easy as far as that goes. Okay. But if somebody ends up don't know, they don't sight very well and they come across, which has happened to me before, you're kind of like, all of a sudden you're getting slugged and you're like, where did he come from? They're swimming to the shore. Maybe they're just trying to get out, I don't know. Maybe they're done with it. But if you happen to get popped or kicked and you lose a contact, that'd be, something to think about. So maybe some toenail clippers in case your toenails are done. But yeah, anything in the bag you're going to need to go from swim, change, whatever, and then go to your bike.
Okay. Will be the helmet, bike shoes.
Yeah, helmet, sunglasses if you don't have a visor on your helmet. Socks, your shoes, gloves if you wear them. Good. What?
Band-aids.
Yeah, and your some nutrition, you'll put in your pocket. So, you can put it in the bag. And the volunteers are awesome in the tent. So when you get in the tent, yell for a volunteer. If you know somebody that's working the tent, I know in Louisville, 2 years in a row, Chad Nash worked up there, and as soon as I ran into the tent, I would start screaming his name, and he would come flying over. And
2015, Chad.
We had a little, we had a little routine. It was like, okay, I'm going to need this first, and he'd be like dressing me as I'm like putting my shoes on.
He knew more than what I really needed, and he just started handing, because I was still kind of tired.
Yeah.
And he was handing me, put this on.
Yeah. Yeah, because you come out of
With
the
his
water
arm.
and you're a little bit.
You're
I made it. I made it.
Yeah.
You're a little.
I did.
Well, ask them about the world championship. I came out of the water
We need you to
and
do good thing.
I'm gassed. You know, you're hypoxic, and you have to run up that ramp, and then you stop and sit in those chairs they had. I stopped and I start putting stuff on. I'm like, I mean, I thought I was gonna pass out. I'm like tunnel vision, started feeling nauseous. So I'm just like, head goes down between my legs. I already have my helmet on, so I'm just sitting there with my hand on my helmet, and I'm just sitting there.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What's he doing?"
You got emotional.
We thought you were having an emotional moment.
Yeah.
The whole day until like you finish, I was like, oh, you're crying.
Yeah.
We just thought you were just emotional.
I was just trying not to pass out.
He was trying to take it all in.
Yeah. So you can get out of the water, and plus you go from here to here. Okay. Talk about finding your land lanes. You know, you've been, and that's just a half. You know, this is the full. So for hour to hour and a half to whenever you're in the water, you're horizontal, and then you go vertical, and then there's a blood shift, and the yeah. So there's that kind of stuff. So you're on the bike. Let's just go to the other. Let's go to the special needs bag. So on the bike, you're gonna have a special needs bag they're gonna give you. That bag you will not get back. That's important to remember. So whatever goes in that bag gets like donated or sold, or I don't know where it goes. Anybody know? I never found out. I think Ironman sells it back in their stores. They put an MDOT on it, resell it.
Recycle.
Yeah. So anything you put in that bag, you're not going to get back. So don't go crazy with stuff that you think you might possibly need on the bike. The things I like to put in there are, and I've never actually stopped and used my special needs bag. Some people put nutrition in there, so if they're not going to carry, and that's a nice option. If you don't want to carry that many bottles, you can have bottles in the special needs bag, so you can toss yours and pick up more nutrition. Some people will put just the powder in there in Ziploc bags, and then get water to reconstitute it or whatever. One thing I do like to put in there is an extra tube and maybe a CO2. Because if you only carry one tube and one CO2 on the bike, and you happen to get a flat and that first half of the bike, now you're going to be riding with nothing in case you get a second heavy fluid. That's probably rare, but if it happens, you're going to be on the side of the road waiting for a tech, and they might not get to you for a while. So that's a nice thing to put in there just in case. CO2s are fairly cheap and tubes not that expensive. So you get off the bike, and the next bag you're going to come to is your run bag. So basically everything you're going to need to transition from the bike to the run. That bag's pretty simple. Pretty much your run shoes go in there. Maybe an extra pair of socks. Some people wear socks on the bike, but some people don't. If you do wear socks and you happen to have to go to the bathroom, then you ends up being pee in your socks, and you might want a fresh pair to start the run with. Just saying. So it might just be wet. So you might want to start with some dry socks. So socks, shoes, any nutrition you're going to start the run with. Take that. So maybe salts, could be a little bottle with a couple of gels with some water. Start out with. Could be you need to put some sunscreen on before you head out. Your sunglasses, if you're going to wear different. Some people wear different sunglasses for the run than they do on the bike. Maybe some lip balm for your lips because they will get chapped out there most likely. Let's see, some base salts.
Normally when you come back and you leave your bike, you don't have to go and put your bike on.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Well,
When
that's
you,
like a
when you
VA
come
car.
in, when you come in off the bike, and well, I'm just talking about the bags right now because I'd like to actually go back through the race and just talk about all that other stuff. So that's your run bag, and then on the run you're going to have the special needs bag. Okay, again, you're not going to get that bag. So, and that bag can actually be a little more beneficial because you're on the run, right? Now this is the hardest part of the race, and you may need a little pick-me-up. So you may need to put something in there. Maybe have your family give you something out of the surprise. Put it, I don't know, something like your favorite. Something, it's just a little something that may, help you get through that last part. The special needs on the bike is in Chickamauga, I believe. Yeah. And then on the run, it's at the end of the walking bridge, starting your second loop. Okay. Or ending your first loop, whatever. So you grab it and you put a Red Bull in there or some wired coffee, cold brew, or piece of cake, or pretty much whatever's going to get you to the finish line. I have heard people putting stuff like, and I used to do this, put like a pair of shoelaces, extra pair of shoelaces in there. Stuff, just crazy stuff that could possibly go awry. You could throw in there. Some anti-chafing stuff. Those little tubes of Vaseline. That could be nice. If you get something really rubbing inside your shoe, you can just put some Vaseline on there real quick. Some people have changed shoes, so they'll wear like an older pair of shoes that they don't really care about getting back, and they'll change shoes. Maybe I don't know, maybe psychological or just a different feel or whatever. Whatever you want to do, but just again, you're not going to get that back. Okay, so we've gone through the bags. So the bags you're going to drop off at bike check-in are, you don't do the special needs, you do morning of. Okay, so the special needs bags you can leave at home, and the morning clothes bag. Right. Okay. So the only bags that you take with you to bike check-in are your bike bag and your run bag. Those have to be checked in the tent. They're all placed, in a nice little row. A nice thing to do is get a big Sharpie. I know they give you those little stickers, right? Those little stickers go on there. It can also help to write your number all over your bag. I've done that.
Like I've seen people put like some different colored bows or something
Yeah.
that really stand out. So I was like,
you can't put like a balloon or anything like that.
Put colored tape on
Yeah.
yellow tape or
Yeah,
some
there's
kind
been
of
stuff
tape.
like that. Because the volunteers are really good. They'll usually call ahead. Like they'll have a little, you'll see it. There'll be a little chain of going on, and they'll be like, "Hey, number so and so," and they relay it to the people that are standing by the bags, and they grab it in the hand. However, depending on where you're at in the race coming through, there could be a ton of you guys all at once. Okay, they can't. You may have to get your own bag. I mean, you can stand there and wait, but no sense in that. So just grab your bag and go.
The other thing I might want to add is on these bags, you can revisit them race morning. So if you want to put your
you can on
nutrition
this
and
one.
things like that in there.
Good
But
point.
here's the other thing. The bag typically stays in the place you put it
Still
the night
running
before on
after 7 hours
Saturday.
back. Just
But
to
it
pick up
can
your
be
bag.
moved a
You're in
little
good
bit,
shape.
depending on how many people, they stretch these bags out in a row. But on race morning, I can tell you the best thing you can do is find a landmark or where your bag is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, really, that's one of the benefits of this race in that parking lot. It's pretty dangerous.
I've been in races where you have
Really
it helps with the Porta John too.
But it helps it helps in the Porta John. And, you want to identify what's going on in there, because you may want to back out and just go to a different one. I've been in some of them where you're like, no thanks. Not going to stay in here any longer than I have to. Again, wipies are a good thing to bring, even toilet paper on race morning, because Ironman events, they don't typically run out of toilet paper, but it's happened.
They
So
did Miami.
you get in there and you're like, oh.
Remember?
I remember.
Yeah.
I'm trying to erase that memory, but I do.
Wipies are also good if you have to mess with your bike for any reason, you get grease on your hands or anything like that. As a side note, make sure your bike's clean on race day.
I wash my.
Make sure your drivetrain is clean and free of, I mean, it's just going to run better and shift better. We've covered that before. Make sure everything's good and clean. So you're going to get there, you're going to go find your bike. Again, like David said, remember where your bike's at, do a little look around, visualize yourself running in from the swim. You're going to be able to do all that when you check your bike in too. You're going to be able to ask questions on, okay, where I'm going to come in the swim where, and I'm going to get to my bike, and then I'm going to go out where, and then when I'm done with the bike, I come in where, and they're going to take your bike, and you're just going to run down, and then you go into the tent, and then, okay, where's the run out, and then you'll know where the finish line is after that. So you're gonna get your bike set up. So basically, race morning, all you're doing is you're dropping your nutrition bottles off at your bike. Okay. You're gonna make sure your tires are aired up. My recommendation on airing your tires up, especially for this year, because they have done some resurfacing with that chip seals and stuff. It has smoothed out a little bit from when they first did it, just from the heat cars. But this course in particular there's a few bumpy spots. So I would not air up. Plus, the weather is most likely going to be a little on the warm side. So if you air up too high, I mean, some people like to air up right up to 120. They just love that number. It's a bit risky, okay? Because as air heats up, it expands, okay? So now you could end up going over the recommended tire pressure for your tube. Okay, that's a recipe for a flat. So let's not do that. So my recommendation would be to air up to 100 or less. I would go between 90 and 100. Okay. 90 and 100. Anytime you pop off the little, say if you go to 100, you pop off the little thing, goes. Psh, okay, you're losing about 5 right there. Okay. So 95, 100, I'd go somewhere in there. You're going to have a much smoother ride down that road, and a smoother ride over 116 miles translates into less stress in your body. Okay? That's how that works. We want less stress in our body. Okay? It's going to be easier on your neck and all that good stuff in the air position. So you're going to air up your tires. If you have a bike computer with GPS, and if it's a new one or you locked onto a satellite somewhere else for some reason, turn your bike computer on and let it lock on, and then turn it back off. It'll just be quicker when you get to the bike and you turn it on. It'll require GPS real quick. Most of us probably won't need to do that. Just a little side note. Like especially Dave and Sonny traveling from Atlanta. Talking to you guys. I'm pointing to the camera. You guys are looking like, are they here?
I'm like, where are they?
I'm pointing to them. They're in the camera. Listen.
Hi, guys.
You guys can't see them? They're right there.
Yeah, I see them.
So, let's see. So, once you get all that done and you're satisfied with your bike, also on gearing, make sure you're in a gear that when you go to hop on your bike, you're in a gear that you can take off on. Okay? It's flat.
Some people, they're
Oh,
working.
yeah. There's a trail up there. So make sure you're in a gear that you can take off on that little flat section, but then, it's not going to be really hard because then it starts going up again, right?
And then be careful because there's a lot of,
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, they open
Yeah.
it up.
you know.
So once you got everything done with your bike, it's time to get out of transition and get on the bus and head north. Okay, jump on the bus, get up there, and look for other team members because we'll try to all get in one spot. Hopefully up close to the front. Because with it being most likely wetsuit legal, we don't have to split up with people that want to wear a wetsuit. We don't have to get in the back. We can all be in one spot. So the swim, we're going to wait there for a while, like I said. That part's, yeah, you just wait. It's a waiting game. You sit there and get nervous. Pretty much what it amounts to. You'll hear the national anthem and all that good stuff. And then once they start letting people in the water, it's going to go really quick. So it's going to go fast. They will get everybody in the water in around 20 minutes or less. Okay, so be ready. Once it gets moving, don't be like, oh wait, I haven't put my goggles on. Wait, I need a swim cap. I gotta go to the bathroom. Got my wetsuit on. Well, you gotta go number 1. Great, just go. Number 2, you got an issue. Okay.
Brian, did you make the point that it's first come, first in the water?
Yeah, well, it's first come, first serve in
get up to
line.
the front,
So
I guess.
that's what I'm saying is like, hopefully we can get up in front. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Get there, get your bike stuff done, then get on the bus. We'll get up there, and then we'll just, see who's in the line. If somebody got up there first, or we go, hey, what's going on? We can kinda,
We're gonna try to.
yeah, we'll try to get together in a group. So ideally, we get up to the front. If not, it's not a big deal because, like I said, if you're in the back of the line, we're gonna get in the water there's not going to be a huge time gap between when the first people get in. However, there will be a lot more people on the course to get through or whatever, depending on your speeds.
The tents get really full.
Yeah, and if we're in the middle of the line, it's not a big deal. I've done it either way. So the swim, you basically go out on the dock. You're going to cross the timing mat. You're out on the dock, and once you're out there, you go and you get in. Okay. I mean, there's no standing around. Wait, I got to acquire a GPS. So, get your watch on, get all set. Start it before you jump in. Don't jump in and then be like, oh, I got to stop because people are going to be jumping on you and whatever. If you need a little time to acclimate to the water, I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, you're going to go down the dock and then everybody's kind of going this way. I'm pretty sure you can go straight out and just get in and kind of like hang out. Okay. So if you need a little time to acclimate, get in the water. Get the breathing down. Before that even happens, do some breathing on land. Get some deep breaths going, get some oxygen in. Especially if we're just sitting around. Stand up, do some arm swings, get ready to go. Okay. You're gonna get in the water, and you've seen pictures. It's just a long string of people, and everyone's spread out. So there's no stress on this swim. I've done swims in all different conditions in all different ways. It used to be back in the day where the mass start swim was the norm, and you just jumped in with everybody else and got clobbered. This is nothing like that. It's so easy. Seriously, it's not a big deal. Okay. So you pick somebody's feet to sit on. If somebody comes by you that's a little bit faster, get behind them and see how far you can follow the bubbles off their feet. Just have fun with it. Okay. Keep the swim easy. The idea is to come out of the water like a okay. It's just get down the river, less energy as possible expended, get out feeling good, smiles, waving to your fans. Okay, you're gonna run into you're gonna grab your bag, run into the change tent, you're gonna do that whole thing, change, whatever you're gonna need, you're gonna jump on your bike. I think volunteers actually do a pretty good job of actually handing you. They actually look for the people coming down the road, they'll get your bike off and hand it to you.
Sometimes I do.
They have for me.
You tell them what your number is.
They've had my bike like ready to go. I'm just running. I'm down the road.
wow.
Yeah.
If you have everything, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
That was it.
Because like in my situation, I have to put my shoes on.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
That's true. Maybe they just.
Well, the situation have to change his flag.
So when you get on your bike, you're going to go to the bike exit. Right after the bike exit is the bike mount line. Okay, this part's really important. When you get to that mount line, do not stop right there to mount your bike. Okay, even though that's perfectly okay, that is the line where you can now mount your bike. That doesn't mean you have to do it right there. Okay, because there's a lot of other people that are going to want to do it right there. Okay, so go past it. Like even if you have to run for 20 yards. Run with your bike and get clear of everybody else. Okay, that's one of the prime areas for an accident to happen. And I'm not talking just people get on their bike and fall over. I'm talking like somebody running into your rear derailleur and ending your race. Okay, or breaking a spoke because they ran it, got caught up with your bike. So just get clear of everybody. That's the part where you start being aware of who's around you. Okay, you're gonna do that the whole bike ride. So start then. So cross the line, go out, get clear, go over to the side, or whatever you have to do. Get on your bike, and then when you get on your bike and start going, don't worry about your nutrition. Okay, don't worry about stuff that's on your bike right now because you need to be eyes forward. You need to be pay attention to who's around you. Like Carla was going to say, there's cracks like this in the road that are deeper, and they're just really conveniently. Like the width of a tire. I wish they'd fix it. It's very annoying.
Concentrate on keeping your nutrition on your bike.
yeah,
The first couple of miles.
Until you get down to St. Elmo, until you get to St. Elmo,
that's-
don't worry about anything but staying.
And that's another issue too. The stuff you have in your bike needs to be secure. I mean, most of you guys have ridden that course. There's some bumps, significant bumps. Okay, and if you hit them right and it bounces a bottle out that has all your nutrition in it, Well, there goes plan A, right? That just happened to me at the World Championship. I had two nutrition bottles, and by mile 5, right before the climb, I hit a bump, and there goes my front bottle. Because I didn't have a good bottle cage on there, and it's my fault. Bottle falls out, hits the ground, pop, cap falls off. So I got half my nutrition. It worked out okay, but an Ironman, if it was a longer distance, you kind of need that. It's important. So make sure everything's secure on your bike to be able to handle that. But don't worry about taking on any nutrition until you get out of St. Elmo. Okay, just don't worry about it. There's too many people around, and people get crazy on race day. I'm just telling you, they don't watch where they're going. They'll just come left or go right, and it can be a little crazy out there. Everybody's nerves are kind of going nuts, and they're just wanting to get going. So wait till you get out on that Highway 193. You got some space, and then start taking in your nutrition, okay?
Yeah, and something that I learned with my last race is that honestly, it doesn't matter. You don't need to move fast. Like with nutrition and everything, people get really anxious to like try to take nutrition and then try to put it back on, then it slips and then you lose your
Yeah,
stuff.
everything is
You
controlled.
have to be controlled.
Yeah, Ironman pace there's nothing difficult about the Ironman pace really, okay? It's not this fast, super fast, sprint thing going on, okay? The first hour of that bike should be really laid back, okay? We'll go ahead and talk about that right now. We'll talk about pacing here a little bit. When you get out of the water, you're going to be just stay relaxed. You're going to get on the bike. That first hour, you're just out for a Sunday stroll, really. Okay, guys, it's a long day, especially the people that are new that haven't done one before. That first hour should be holding back. Okay, you're going to be tapered. You're going to feel amazing. Okay, you're going to be able to ride numbers that you probably haven't seen in training. Okay, so there's one of the sayings I love the best in Ironman is you ride the bike split you should, not the bike split you could. Okay, so you could ride 21 miles an hour, 22 through town or whatever. Doesn't mean you should. Okay. There is no good bike split that's followed by a really bad run. Okay, they go together. Okay. So the day starts, the bike sets up the run. So everything you do once you get in the water, more importantly, once you get on the bike, everything you do is to set you up for that run. Okay? It's to put you in good shape, to get off that bike feeling good, to run well. Okay? So as you're on the bike, you keep that first hour easy. Okay? You get in the nutrition you need to. Hit that road, 193, the Highway 193. Start taking in the hydration. Start taking in your nutrition. And this shouldn't be anything different than what you've done in training. That's the crazy thing. Don't make it complicated. Okay? Don't start downing like tons of calories and I gotta empty all these bottles, and don't go nuts with it. You should be a low heart rate. You should be, you should feel really easy. Okay? Really easy. What?
You should be peeing if you're drinking a lot.
Yeah, and if you by about halfway through that bike, you should feel like you gotta pee if you're hydrating enough. Okay? That's a good sign that you're hydrating well. And don't pee, just pee, because if you hold the pee, okay, that means you're kind of stopping up your system, in other words, okay? So if you got to pee, that keeps things moving through, okay? Okay, so if you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. Hopefully it's just pee. Or stop. Yeah, Porta John's.
They do have more.
It's better when you have to pee than not being able to pee.
Yes.
That's the worst case scenario.
If you can't pee by mile 60 or 70, if you haven't had the urge to pee, you need to seriously start assessing your hydration plan. Okay? Especially this race. This race is not going to be one of the cool ones. Okay? Mark my words. I hope I'm wrong, but it's going to be a little warm. Okay? Because we've had this big cold snap here. A lot of us has lost a lot of heat acclimation that we had this summer. Okay? It's going to feel warm. Okay? So we need to stay hydrated, and with that comes pacing, okay? You may have to slow down a little bit, okay? Last year, there's some people that didn't happen so well with, and they paid a pretty big price, okay? You've got to adjust for conditions, okay? And your nutrition plan, a good nutrition plan is a flexible nutrition plan, okay? So you also need to be flexible on what you're doing out there. Just like again, I go back to training, okay? You set yourself up good when you've done these long rides and you've experienced, 80 miles, and you're like, oh, I'm hungry, I need to eat more. And you take that to the next long ride, and so you start eating a little sooner, and then so at 80 miles you're like, okay, I feel good now because I ate, whatever. You figure that stuff out. So race day isn't going to be much different, shouldn't be any different in reality to your best training day. It should be the same thing, okay? So you're on the bike. My advice too is never go more than 15-20 minutes without taking a sip of something, okay? If it's water, even if it's your nutrition, every 15 minutes take something in, okay? I'm not saying you have to take a complete gel in, but I'm saying just something. It's that constant feed, okay? A constant feed of carbohydrates and electrolytes and water is way better than going an hour and then go like, oh, wait, I haven't taken in my 200 calories for this hour, so I'm going to take it in now so that I can, that's a recipe for disaster, okay? So keep that constant feed going, and your stomach just stays happier when you do that, okay? When your stomach just sits there too long, it tends to kind of get lazy and starts to kind of shut down a little bit because your body's kind of like, well, the blood needs to go somewhere else. Let's shut the blood to the legs so you're doing all this work. So it's just a much better plan to keep the constant feed going. Salts can really help with your stomach emptying, okay? I've never taken salt on the bike for cramping. I take it for gastric emptying. It just helps keep my stomach happy. Okay. I think we covered that, nutrition on the bike. Solid foods. If you're going to eat any solid foods on the bike, do it that first third of the bike at least. Okay. Just get your, if you want to eat something solid. It's solid, I mean like a Cliff Bar or something that's got, something solid. Bananas I don't consider solid because by the time you chew those up really good, they're not really solid. Those shot blocks, that's stuff basically just a little bit more of a solid gel. It's pretty easily digestible stuff. The other thing is too, when you're going to put something in your mouth that you have to chew it for as long as possible before you swallow it. Okay, digestion starts in your mouth. Okay, give your body a chance to have it start there, so that enzymes and everything can start breaking down those carbohydrates. Chew it really well too, just because it's going to be easier for your body to digest if it's a smaller chewed up particle than you just, taking a big chunk of banana and swallowing. You're going to feel like you want to do that because you want to breathe, right? But just try to chew as long as possible. Get that really chewed up well before you swallow. Okay? It'll be much better later on in the race. So as you go through the bike, you're gonna maintain that constant evaluation. How am I feeling? What do I need? Do I need more calories? Do I need more water? How's my stomach feeling? Maybe I need some salts. Okay, constant evaluation. Constant. Okay, within that evaluation comes the flexibility. You change things. As you get towards the end of the bike, that's when you want to start tapering off your nutrition, calories, okay, what you're putting in your stomach. So about the last half an hour of the bike, you want to switch to just a little bit of water, and if your stomach's full, you may not even want to put much water in there, okay? The idea is you want to get off that bike, ideally with nothing in your stomach, okay? And here's why. When you get off the bike with nothing in your stomach and you start the run with nothing in your stomach, now you have complete control on what goes in your stomach, okay? You're transitioning from riding a bike to running, okay? Now your intestines, your gut, it's getting shook, okay? doesn't make your stomach real happy at first. If your stomach is full from everything you had on the bike and you get off and start running, bad things happen. Plus, if you are feeling like you need energy and you go ahead and don't resist the urge to put something in your stomach because there's already a bunch of stuff in there, but you're like, I just need something because I'm running out of energy. Well, that's, you're putting more in there. It's just it's not a good situation. Okay, you can get nauseous, sick. Yeah, it's ugly. So the idea is come off the bike, stomach is empty and happy. You can start the run, and when you start the run, let's go ahead and transition to that. So you're going to come in, you're going to get off your bike, you're going to hand your bike off. That's really cool about the race. You kind of feel like a celebrity. Kind of take good care of you. You run, basically hand off your bike and then you run straight, and all the bags are like right there. Get your bag, you ride in the tent. You'll have everything in your bag you need. You take your helmet off. If you have sunglasses, wear those on the run. If you have different ones, you're going to change those. But everything you had on, your shoes, your shoes and your helmet basically, they go in your bag. After you take your shoes out, hat, sunglasses, whatever, you wear a fuel belt, whatever you need, and you head out for the run, okay? The run is the same as the bike, okay? When you start out, this course in particular, it's really easy to go too fast, too soon, on a hill, okay? It's a recipe for disaster later on, okay? So, you're gonna come out, you're gonna run down. They take you down to the water level, and then you got to climb all the way out, right? All the way out, and then up that hill that we've been running on our long runs.
And people cheering for you.
People, exactly.
And you're like,
Exactly. People are cheering for you. You feel like a rock star, and you're happy because you're off the bike because you don't want to see your bike go off, right? You're done with that, and you're excited, and next thing you know, you look down, you're like, whoa, I'm running like a whole minute per mile faster than I ever ran in training, and it's easy to do. It's really easy to do. You feel kind of light on your feet, you're just trucking away. But next thing you know, you get to the top of that hill and your heart rate's through the roof. And so if you have to, walk. It's the hardest thing to do because who's around, right? But it may be the best thing for you to do later on in the race, okay? Whatever mistakes you make on the bike, in particular, you have all day to show up, okay? Same way with the run. If you go too hard at that first, even 2 miles, it's got all of that whole marathon to rear its ugly head at you, okay? So, say you run a minute per mile slower than you could average for that marathon, okay? And you do that for the first 2 miles, big deal. You have 24.2 miles to make up those 2 minutes, okay? So that's how you have to think that way. You have to wrap your head around it, okay? So don't think, I gotta bank this time. You're feeling good right now, let's bank some time for later. Don't think that way. That's a bad hole to go down, okay? Because you will feel good, but save it, okay? There's a line in the race that you're gonna cross. That could be fairly early on in the race, it could be later in the race. Ideally, what we want to do is push that line as far out as possible by making correct choices, okay? That line in the race is where it gets where it starts to get hard, okay? Ideally, we keep that pushed out to mile 18, mile 20, okay? That's when you start to do the work. So everything you do during the race is to set you up to be in good shape for that when you hit that line, okay? Now let's talk about a little bit of the psychological part of it. We've talked about our why before. Why you doing this Ironman? What drives you? What motivates you in training? Race week is a good time to revisit that, okay? Because when you hit that line, you're going to need that why. Because your body's going to tell you, you're going to have a conversation going on between your body and your mind. And your mind's going to be saying, what in the world are we doing? Why am I out here? Why am I doing this? Why? Okay? You're going to have an answer. Okay? You need to have an answer. Because it'll get tough. Okay? So have that answer ready to be able to say, this is why. And you're going. Okay? It could be where it takes you to the next lamppost. Okay? Then you may have to revisit it again. Okay? And then it takes you to the next mailbox or the next road sign or, you know, or the next cone or the next aid station. You know, most of the time you'll hear people say, well, I just wanted to make it to the next aid station. I just went from aid station to aid station.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's all you have to do.
That helps so much.
You go from one smorgasbord of food to the next. And that's what's nice about the Ironman too, is it's a catered training day. You know, you can really, on the bike, you get these aid stations that are really nice. A lot of helpful people. On the run, it's amazing. You got, you come in, you got your water, your cold sponges, your ice, your water, and then you go in the middle and you got your food, your Coke, Gatorade or whatever, Red Bull or Goo. I think it's Goo now. No, it's Cliff. We're back to Cliff. Is it Cliff? It's Cliff. But anyways, all the food's in the middle, and then it kind of repeats itself. So as you come into the aid station, it's kind of mirror image. Flip it. Okay. So as you come in, then you go out, you'll have the same stuff on the other side. I think. What are we missing? Attitude. Attitude, we kind of touched on that a little bit. Attitude is everything. Man, one of the favorite things I like to do is just smile. You got it. When the pain starts settling in. And what's funny is, when you smile, you get a real quick reaction from the people watching. And you'll hear comments like, "See that guy smile? He's running up Barton Avenue and he's got a smile on his face." Everybody else around you be like, look at the ground, and they'll have this look of like terror on their face. Man, pick your head up. Okay, you've done the training. You deserve to be there. You're doing the race. You're gonna be an Ironman, and so you might as well pick your head up and smile about it. Okay. And when you look up the hill, when you pick your head up and you smile, you're looking up the hill where you're going. Don't look down at the ground when you're running, okay? Because that's only, 3 feet in front of you? Look up where you're going, okay? Keep your eyes up. And smile. Thank the volunteers. Man, it's amazing the energy you get from, if somebody else passes you, good job. If you can breathe and you have the mental alertness to talk.
Say good job.
Good job.
It's amazing. I'm telling you, the energy you get from that is astounding. So
That's Daniela's weapon then.
Because they treat us like gold.
Yeah.
It's really important. If you're going through an intersection, those police officers are protecting you.
That's true.
Thank them.
Man, at Worlds, I've had the best time thanking all the police officers and everybody on the corner.
Yes.
I'd go through and I'd be like, thank you, and they'd look at you like, you're welcome.
Yes.
I mean, it's like they don't get thanked enough.
No, they don't get thanked at all.
They're shocked when you tell them thank you. It's like, dude, you're saving me from, cars rolling through on me. Thank you.
I told
Well,
ya.
and the supporters here, the Ironman that I did in 14, they were the nicest.
Yeah.
I mean, the volunteers were amazing.
The volunteers love this race, guys, and they come back every year to volunteer.
That's right. So thank you.
And they're not all local people.
Yeah, right.
Not all
Yeah.
local people.
So keep that in mind. I mean, it's not their first time they volunteered. They're doing this because they love it. They love seeing you guys succeed. Okay.
But just the people that come out and watch these races, I mean, no matter where you are, and Brian, you've been in other races, when I did Texas, they don't know who you are, but they see your name on your bib, and they're out there, people just coming down there, just yelling for you and stuff, and they watch you. They think you're Brian's right, they think you're a rock star.
Even though they don't say my name right, they
Okay, what they say, Joseph? Who?
But it's true. It's true.
They say mine like Brian. That's funny. Okay, keep a great attitude, even in your little space. Okay, you're on your bike. You're on your run. There's a little bubble around you. Okay, you control that attitude around you, right? It rubs off on people, so smile, okay? Hey, another thing on the bike, going back to the bike, tell people when you're passing them on the left, you might get tired of saying it, but it could save your butt. Because there's people that'll, you know, it happened to me at Worlds, man. I made the mistake of not saying something when I passed this guy because I didn't think I had to. Out of the blue, this guy shot left. We bumped shoulders, and he pushed me into the other lane. That's how fast he came over. I mean, I literally thought I was going down, and there was no reason for him to do it either. I don't know what he was doing. He just came over. So, you know, when you're passing somebody, just on your left, just give them a little warning. You may have to yell it pretty loud because, you know, you got the aero helmets on and, you know, it can affect the hearing. And here's a good point. I think Daniela brought this up last year. I like this. Sooner or later, it will be uncomfortable, and for sure, there's going to be roughly 2,800 other people out there in the same situation. Okay? Don't think you're the only one suffering out there, right? You're dealing with 2,800 other friends, okay? So there's some comfort in that. No highs, no lows. That's another good one. Keep it kind of even Steven. Steven's not here, so. Yeah, keep it right in the middle. No highs, no lows. So when you get on the bike, I'm a rock star, first hill, out of the saddle, woo, feeling awesome. No. That's a major high, okay? If you do that, guess what? You're gonna have a big low. And you'll see lots of people doing that, okay? You'll see a lot of people doing that. And back to the bike, sorry, I'm stretching this out longer than probably you guys want to hear, but on the bike too, specifically this course, you got those hills through High Point, right? Man, make that easy through there. Because the second loop, those hills feel twice as big, right? It's like, whoa, I don't remember this hill the first time through, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, keep it easy. Keep it easy, okay? Remember, it's all gonna set you up for the run. Let's see if I'm missing anything here. Execution, not fitness. Race day is all about execution. Is that's all what we've talked about right here, right? It's how to execute a good race. You'll see guys that are really fit. Okay, you can look at them and tell they're in really good shape, and they'll fail miserably because they fail to execute the race plan. Okay, they go too hard. First climb, they're out of the saddle, going crazy. And then later on, they can't eat anything because their stomach's shut down because they went red zone for who knows how long. Okay. So an Ironman race is so much more about execution than it is your fitness. Your fitness is what it is, okay? But the execution part is you built a race car for how many months? Okay. Now you have a certain amount of gas in that race car. Now your job is to drive that race car as intelligently as possible to the finish line. Okay, so you're not all over the gas, kicking in the turbo and draining the gas tank. Okay?
You have to concentrate to execute.
You just fed it, yeah.
If you don't, I mean, I've made the mistake before. I didn't concentrate, and I got behind, which means I didn't execute well, and then I barely finished and ended up in the medical clinic. So don't do that. You got to concentrate to execute. Brian's exactly right. You got to execute. But if you don't concentrate, you lose your focus, your history. You can't catch up. Once you're behind, when your body's behind, you can only absorb so many calories. You can only absorb so much hydration. So once you're behind, you're screwed.
Yeah. And a lot of it's, you know, it's about intake versus pace. Okay. So you keep talking about keeping easy on the bike. Okay, that's controlling your pace. You're controlling essentially your effort or your heart rate. Okay. If you keep your heart rate in a zone 2, which you guys are all familiar with, that's what that bike should be done at, is your zone 2. I mean, we all know that. You know, when you go out and ride to Fort Mountain and back with these big rides, it's a self-limiter, right? If you're going to go that distance, I can only put out this effort. Okay. Same with Ironman. If you find yourself not processing food, chances are your effort somewhere along that leg, along the way was too hard. We talked about the line and staying inside your box. Keep just about what you can do, not what somebody else is doing on the course. Okay, just worry about yourself. You see some people going by that, like we talked about, going up the hill crazy. Ignore them. You got to do your own thing. Okay, most important. So what's next? Finish line. Okay, soak it in. You deserve it. It'll be one of the most amazing things you'll experience in your life, really.
And it's gonna be Ryan.
Do what?
And
It's gonna be the voice of Ironman, Mike Riley, who also calls everybody across the line in big races like Kona. So that's pretty cool.
If you're a first timer, when you're coming down Riverside, you're coming down the last, 300, 400 yards, pay attention to where you're at.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Brian.
No. That's the next point I was going to bring up.
Okay.
You see people there's a guy up in the finish. I'm going to catch him, and they sprint down, and maybe they've done Ironmans before, but if you come down the hill and if you need to slow down a little bit, you're going to make it, right?
Yeah, you want to make sure you have your own picture.
Yeah, don't be running in a pack with 5
your
other
picture,
people,
yeah,
because your finish line photos are going to be like you with 5 other people.
And if you make your face.
Yeah, and somebody else, right when you get up to the line for your picture of guy, will be like, yeah! Totally steal your.
No kidding.
They have no other proof that you didn't finish last, and you're the only one in the picture either.
And the other thing to think about is get your number turned around.
Yep.
If you're unzipped, which everybody knows the rules, you got to unzip past your sternum and all that business. Turn your, put your sunglasses up, whatever. Get.
Just print.
Yeah.
Prep
Just
yourself.
get ready for the finish line, right?
Well,
and when you come across, don't go. Because that's a common thing. People look down at the ground.
Yeah, don't do that.
So
Or their watch.
You-
Don't
you
look
forget.
up.
Yeah.
Look up. Yeah, or their finish photos. Like this.
Yeah, I've got those. It's like,
Yeah. So look up.
your picture,
They're gonna have a
I will have
camera.
to.
The camera is
Hey, I was gonna
above
say
you, so you
that-
need to be looking kind of, toward the.
Should we all kind of get in line and try to?
Yeah.
The other thing is,
want mine
they're
to be
taking
fun.
pictures from both sides of the finish line. So they're taking pictures
Yeah,
from
they'll-
both sides of the finish line, and the camera's above you.
So go.
So look up.
Pay attention to your teammates too, because in Florida, I finished and I'm like, weren't the teammates even there? It's like April, they were all along there with their hand. I'm like, I was just like,
Oh yeah.
I was in survival mode at that point. I didn't see anybody.
And that's a good point, April. I mean, if you got time and you got room,
Yeah.
the volunteers will. Not the volunteers, but the crowd that's been
Oh, yeah.
standing there waiting forever for whoever they're
Oh,
waiting
yeah.
for. They
just
love
run
slapping
by 'em.
hands with.
Hey, and something
It's a little bit
else.
crazy because you don't know what the athletes have on their hands. But,
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah, that's right.
when you're coming down, you're making that right, your last loop around Barton. Think about what you're going to do at the finish line.
Yeah.
It'll stoke you all the way through Barton.
Yeah.
What you're going to jump, if you're going to throw your arms up or whatever you're going to do, backflips, somersaults, whatever. Hey,
Yeah, I tried to jump and it was like
yeah,
I got that far off the ground.
yeah.
And don't get discouraged when you come across the Walnut Street Bridge on your first lap, and you're hearing Mike Riley down
Yeah,
below
you
you
are
going,
an Ironman.
"You're an Ironman!" Oh
Yeah.
crap! I got 13.1 more miles to
Or
go.
when they yell,
You're like,
you're almost done, and you go, I have another loop to go.
Or you come through your first lap and there's a bunch of people up there, and then you come through your second lap on the bridge and you're like, where's
Where is
everybody?
everybody?
it's
Because it's
sparse.
cleared out. 'Cause
That's
they're
right.
waiting for you.
That's
right.
They're
They're
waiting.
all waiting
They're
for you
at
at
the
the finish
finish
line.
It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
It's nothing like, yeah, and being a hometown race is something special, guys. I mean, you guys all know that. I mean, I've raced some pretty big races in my, I don't know if you want to call it career or whatever, but man, Chattanooga's pretty awesome. I mean, it's pretty special when you can race in your hometown, and when you're out on the course and you see familiar faces that are cheering for you, it's really cool.
Especially when they know you're from a hometown team.
Yeah, they'll-
When they see our team
When they
kids
see
and
Kim
racing
Norman,
Chattanooga.
they don't know me, but they're like, wow, Kim Norman.
Yeah, when I come up the hill and I would always see Chris O'Mary standing up there.
Yes,
Yeah.
good luck turn.
But he's gonna be racing now.
Yes, we have to.
So questions? I think we've covered pretty
I'm
much.
going to throw this out because this happened to me. When you do finally make it past the finish line, and they offer you that silver blanket, take it.
Yes.
Do not take it. It's going to be a lot cooler when you start. You're going to be hot, and when you come across that finish line at 60-something degrees, it's going to be cold. Your body's going to shut down and want to cool down really
That's a
quick.
good point.
And if you have to puke, it gives you something to puke in.
Yeah, that's
True.
But in 2014, I'll just tell you this, it did help me.
Yeah.
I very rarely stop at special needs, but in 2014, I had a very lightweight, very inexpensive, I went to Walmart, got a little cover, and it was in my special needs bag on the run, but it rained a little bit on the run in 2014. It rained.
Yeah.
Okay, you remember that?
Yeah.
I got really cold, and I'm not good at cold, I stick
Yeah.
it up. And that really did help me, and I ditched it at GPS coming down the last hill. Barton, I threw it in the trash can so that I could get ready for the finish line.
Nice.
And so I just threw it away.
See, he knows the drill.
Okay.
And you bring up a good point. A headlamp in your special needs. Okay, if you're going to be out there after dark, there's parts of the course that get pretty dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like our long runs in the morning. I mean, those back sections of the North Shore.
Especially
There's
for the one.
nothing wrong with having a headlamp. I mean, it's just going to make it that much easier to see. And when you're trying to focus and stuff, and it's not, it helps. So, maybe a really cheap headlamp. Finish line. When you cross the finish line for the first timers, you're going to have a bunch of adrenaline.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And you're going to feel like amazing coming down that finish chute. When you stop, it's all going to go away. So just be aware that you may just be like, So if somebody comes up, they have the catchers there for a reason. Okay. And they know to watch you because it happens. And it's funny. You'll see people like, I'm good, thanks. I was finishing Ironman. And they're like, bam! And they hit the ground. I mean, it's just,
That was me. I said,
Yeah.
no, I'm fine. I walked 2 more steps and I was like, look.
I mean, at Worlds, Josue caught me, and at first I'm like, yeah, awesome. Gave him a hug, standing up, but as soon as like, and that's just a half, and you're done. It's kind of like this body just kind of goes, ugh.
Yep. And they're going to take
It's
that.
like 10 times.
They're going to take the chip off your ankle. Make sure you balance yourself.
Yeah, they'll take
usually
the chip
hold
off.
you, but
they'll hold you. But that's what that's what those catchers are there for, is to catch you. So
and they train them well. I know that.
yeah.
They train them well.
So just be aware of that, and don't try to go scarf down a bunch of food too quick. Give yourself a little bit of time.
Blue plate is gonna be open.
I like to walk. To walk around a little bit. They'll be like, oh, you need to sit down. You need to sit down. If you can't, don't sit down. Walk around at least a little bit if you can. It just really helps kind of that cool down. Because your body's running. If you sit down, sometimes that makes things worse. Your body just.
Now they did give protein shakes at the end of last year's race.
And then for recovery, just try to eat sensibly and get some good quality carbs. Any questions? I think we covered everything. As always, text or call. If you got questions. There'll be more questions, I'm sure, coming up to, as we get our bags and start like, oh wait, should I put this in there? Should I not? We're good. Dave and Sonny we'll see you guys shortly.
Bravo,